the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.
You're the only one.
I've got them all
who
now.
really knew me at all.
And take a look at me now. That's a great song.
There's just an empty space.
And here's the thing. I'm not crazy about
Nothing
Phil Collins.
left here to remind me.
But that's a
just
good
the
one.
memory of your face. Take a good look at me now.
He does a really high note.
There's
after
just an empty space.
that is a great song, and
To
I'm not a
wait for
huge
you
Phil
is all
Collins
I can
fan.
do,
trying
and
to
it's
say
what
that for-
I've got to say. Take a good look at. He has so many great songs.
He does.
And the fact that
let's see.
the fact that your parents
In the Air Tonight
failed.
They did. They failed. They didn't show.
failed
They
at
did
giving
not.
you enough of
can't talk
at a
about
young age.
I know. There's no way.
And this is going to be on the podcast, and your mom's going to be so mad at me for saying this.
it's okay.
And I love your mother. You know this.
She didn't give me any pop music.
But she
No
really
pop
failed
music.
on the Phil Collins front.
No.
She
Yeah, I know.
did.
I know.
True Colors?
I know.
Come on.
Wait. I don't know. I don't know the name of that one.
True colors.
Is that originally
shining
by
through.
Phil Collins?
I see your true
Is it really?
colors. And that's how I love
I know
you.
True Colors because
don't
of
be
Cindy
afraid.
Lauper.
She covered it.
I don't know them.
I did not. You are literally teaching me that right now because I heard True Colors because I thought it was a Cindy Lauper song. That is a Phil
is a good
Collins. Yeah, it is a great tune. It's a
See
great
if I
song.
can do a good ASMR.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. That was Elisa's ASMR. Well, as you can hear from the wackiness of the beginning of this show, you're like, oh, is this another This Week in Green? No, this is a Biofriendly Podcast OG.
This is a Biofriendly podcast. That's why we're talking about Phil Collins.
That's
to
why
open
we
the show.
opened up the
That's
show with Noel singing Against All Odds.
Yeah, Against
Are you gonna
Against All
close the
Odds.
show with the Cheerio?
No, we've moved. As much as I wish we could go back to the original tags, the rule was always we start with new tags every year.
Every year, and since this year we did something totally new.
This year we went completely bananas.
tags.
There's no tags. So this year we'll
except for the ones we invent every day.
Yes. We always invent new tags. But we're doing an OG because I think there's a little bit of we do the news and then we go back to these others because things come up, guys. They come up. We got to go places. We got to do things, and we got to.
We actually have a complicated problem.
We really do.
Because we're 2 weeks in a row.
Yes.
Where you're gone in Texas.
Yes.
And then I'm gone in DC the week after.
Yes.
Since you've been gone.
Exactly.
Another Phil Collins classic.
Nothing like that Phil Collins classic.
Can't breathe for the first time. Someone I love. Yeah. JJ you. I love it.
I don't know the words to that one at all. But she's
I'll be there. Something like get what I want.
Isn't
I
that
don't know.
Kelly Clarkson? Is that Kelly
Since you
Clarkson?
go.
Kelly Clarkson, a Sherman Oaks, California native.
Yeah.
So good on
You
you.
had the chance, you blew it. Out of sight, out of mind.
We're just gonna call.
Shut your mouth, I just can't take it.
We're gonna call this OG called Noel and Elise sing karaoke and environmental news.
Yes.
Yes, we're busy. We're running around, and normally when we travel, we go to the same place at the same time. But this time, we're going two different places at two different times, and so it throws everything off.
It makes it impossible.
It makes it impossible to do as many shows as we need. So we're doing the best we can to bring you some quality entertainment,
Right.
but you will have a gap week.
You might have a gap week. It's
Yes.
a definite
That's
probability
It's going to happen, for sure.
that you're probably definitely going to have a gap week.
Definitely.
Unless we find some kind of absurd
I guess
remote.
like just beam in a broadcast from two different
from
cities.
space.
I don't know. But we're here, and we're here to make you laugh and here to sing songs, clearly.
Lots of songs.
And I brought some articles to possibly talk about, but, given how our new format is so zippy, I worry that the one topic I saw, which I had never heard of, and I was like, maybe this will be interesting. But I was like, is this going to be boring? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, as soon as I started circling around, I was like, this might be boring.
Well, I'll tell you what.
What?
If it's boring,
You'll just say.
I'll just sing some Phil Collins.
You'll just sing if it.
And we'll be
sucks.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got it.
So that's the rule. If the article's boring, we move on.
I might sing Phil Collins anyway. I got to be honest.
I'm not gonna lie.
That'd just
I'm
be how
gonna
this
sing it anyway.
episode goes.
Yeah. So
Is everything working? Did the camera break? No,
Is it over? Is it done?
It's cracked.
It's cracked.
Oh,
That's my phone.
oh no. Okay, so where's my original article?
Oh, I put it in the tab.
Oh man.
There's a tab over there that I opened up. For you.
Oh, okay. Okay. Let me see.
It's I did this. I put a. So this is the kind of crack reporting we do at Biofriendly Podcast, where we have we have everything prepared for you, ready to go from the start. Actually, what's funny is our podcast audience they know this, that like, I mean, I would say at least 4% of the time, Jacob he'll have everything all set up and then he'll show up and be like, where the hell's the thing? And then what'll happen is in about 10 minutes when we're doing stuff, he'll be like, oh my God, there it is. And it was there for him.
Yeah.
And he had it the whole time.
I had it the whole time.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, so the subject of today that I saw that was interesting, have you ever heard the phrase biochar?
BioChar.
Right?
Wow.
Exactly.
Wow. So I'm guessing this is like stuff that is like burned.
Yes.
But can be used to help the environment.
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. So it was a word that was being kicked around on several articles. I saw the article, and then when you search it, it's all out there, and it seems like it's one of those buzzwords that's really circling around right now as like the thing that's going to save agriculture. Okay. But there were also people out there that were like, there is a dark side to biochar.
I mean, it's probably been burned.
It's been burned, exactly.
That's pretty dark.
I'm going to give you the breakdown of what it is. Okay.
All right, break it.
Ready? Human production of biochar, or terra preta, as it's been called, has been around for a long time. It has a rich history in places like the Amazon basin, where it was used to improve soil quality in areas of human habitation drastically. But this is what it is. Biochar is an organic matter that undergoes pyrolysis, a process where plant material is burned in a low oxygen environment to create a very stable form of carbon, biogas, and vapor. Biochar is porous and has a large surface area, which increases water retention in soil. So, this is basically like a very strategically charred kind of earth, and then it's put into the ground. And they say that because it has this like microscopic honeycomb quality to it, that if you were to water, the water would stay, because our earth right now, the soil that we have right now in areas that have stuff built upon it where we've really ruined the soil, this would open up how compacted that soil has become, give it a chance to get the water, the nutrients it needs, make room for bacteria. And that's the great reason why to incorporate biochar when fixing up the agriculture.
It's a good idea. It's clever. Look, a lot of people think that a forest fire is a disaster, naturally so, right?
Right.
Because a forest fire means lots of death and lots of burnt trees and lots of everything that lives in there has got to run away because it's but the problem isn't the forest fire. Forest fires are an important and natural part of the ecosystem. They have to happen.
Right.
There are a lot of really important plants and trees that can't exist without fire.
Right.
So it's like it actually you do want to burn things up. The problem that we have is that it used to be back before we as we talked about in last week's show, back before we sent all the indigenous people into the reservations and got them out of taking care of nature the way they used to do really well.
Yeah.
People used to clear those forests out, right?
Yeah.
And you would have kind of a more controlled situation where it wasn't so nuts. You'd also have smaller fires more often.
Yeah.
But now we don't do that. So there's not a lot of clearing out, which means you have a lot of underbrush and a lot of stuff that burns really hot. And then we do a good job preventing fire because we have really good firefighting technology. So there aren't fires.
Right.
So that when there is a fire, it's devastating.
It's terrible.
And then with things getting hotter and drier, it's easier to start a fire.
Yeah.
And so because we've got this, these tinder boxes everywhere, it's like the fire's right now. And for the next probably 10, 15 years, are going to continue to be crazy until it's burned down enough that it'll kind of get back to the way it was.
Yeah.
And then we should manage it. That's a tangent.
No, but I get what you're saying.
But
The burnt things are important to be part of nature.
It is one of the ways that nature does this by itself.
Yeah.
Without us having to jump in and do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But the idea of doing it in a controlled way so that you can add it to the soil and make it so that there's better soil, I think it's a good idea. Soil degradation is a huge problem, man. It's already a problem. The quality of our food is already worse than it was 20 years ago, 50
true.
years ago, 100 years ago. It's just, it keeps getting worse.
Yeah.
Because we're not doing a good job of farming. So
Yeah, so
this helps. That's huge.
It's interesting, and while I was reading about it, it was saying, like, make sure you're not out there just trying to make your own biochar. It is a process that goes into there. You're not supposed to go in your backyard and just start burning up stuff to start throwing it into the ground. That's probably not a good idea. So make sure that. But one of the things.
Oh, that's just corporate America.
That's just corporate America saying don't burn.
That's corporate America saying don't take away our patent rights.
Right.
You can't just go out and burn your own stuff and throw it in your lawn, you jerks.
Biochar.
You can't. There's technology. Pyrolysis.
Yes.
Which is cool, by the way.
Pyrolysis. Pyrolysis. Guy who he puts the emphasis on the word first.
Yeah.
Pyrolysis. So I'll read to you some of the drawbacks just so we have it, and then if you want to start singing Phil Collins, I haven't bored you yet.
No, I'm excited.
Okay.
I'm interested.
Okay.
This has been incredible.
But so here's
What a wonderfully engaging topic.
I know.
With a lot of alleys to
So
crawl
many
down
places
and
to
get
go to.
lost.
The title of this article was Biochar. Is there a dark side? Well, yeah, it's charred. Of course there is.
Kadoy.
Jeez, kadoy. It says, in the last 5 years, the term biochar has been popping up a lot in scientific literature and popular press. So this is basically offering up, okay, there's a list of the claimed benefits, like what they say it does. Increased yields, increased fertilizer efficiency, increased water quality.
Great.
So then you go down here at the bottom, and as I'm reading the popular drawbacks, I'm going to tell you that I think that maybe this is one of those articles that there's a company that's like sponsoring this because they want people to be like, don't do that. Okay. So it says, in some cases, here's the drawbacks. Okay. In some cases, yields may decline because of the absorption of water and nutrients by the biochar, which reduces the availability of these resources for the crops. Biochar has been shown to inhibit germination. The absorption of pesticides and herbicides by the biochar can reduce their efficacy. So this is that point of saying, like, you're going to eat up all those great pesticides and herbicides that we've given with your biochar. So that's the part where I go, like, pesticide company maybe? Some biochars can act as a source of contaminants such as heavy metals, rock, VOCs, volatile organic compounds, PAHs, polycyclic aromatic hydrocarbons.
These are all things that we've had to test for with
Really?
Green Plus. Yes,
and
100%.
DOC, dissolved organic carbon.
Yep.
So so it goes on to say this is the fine ash associated with biochar is the perfect source for dust, which could cause respiratory disease. Anyway, the list goes on there.
But probably make some really tiny particulate matter.
Exactly. But I think that if you're putting it deep in the earth and the soil, then maybe it could help that area. But yeah,
I don't think that's the idea, though, is it?
Yeah.
I think the idea is to pop it on top and you water it and then let it get everything down into it.
Yeah,
it
it probably is.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Do you?
I think that
Do you think somebody is trying to suppress the power of biochar through the media?
yeah, maybe, man. Monsanto is not happy about us not using the weed killers and insecticides. No, I think look, probably like they're a mess. But this is like anything, man. Like you could it help? Are there places where it could really make a difference?
Yes.
To the soil. I'm sure it absolutely could.
Right.
And I bet all the problems they're talking about over time would dissipate if you just had some of the biochar on it for a while and you were allowing the soil to naturally create its own sort of ecosystem again.
Right.
And then you probably have a good situation in a while where you could start growing.
Yeah.
So I'm not opposed to using it at times, but I think that, again, this is one of those things where it comes back to we have to change the way we do it. We have to look at how we're killing ourselves,
Right.
And start to think about, well, maybe we should do better.
Right.
I think that we're as for-profit farming has kind of been the thing, as eating a lot has become a thing. Do you know that the average weight of a male during Civil War times was 141 pounds?
Really?
Yeah, about I think 5'8", I believe, and then 141 pounds.
My goodness.
Today, the average height of a male is 5'9.5", and 190 pounds.
Okay. So
That's significantly heavier.
and only an inch taller.
Right.
Right.
An inch more height does not equal 50 more pounds.
Right.
But we have 50 more pounds because it used to be hard to eat. There used to not be food fricking everywhere.
All the time.
You had to figure out food. Food was still a problem.
Yeah.
You had to have it sorted out. You had to you had to still do some hunting. You had to still do some of your own gardening, so your own planting. You had to have a relationship with farmers, and the farmers didn't always have the crops work out.
Yeah.
Sometimes the the pests got them.
Yeah.
Sometimes the yield was bad.
Yeah.
Sometimes things didn't work out, and you hope that the neighbor's farm did better, and then everybody kind of figured it out and did what they could to eat as much as they could, and a lot of people died.
Yeah.
That's kind of how it has been throughout all of history until we corporatized it.
Yeah.
The bright side of it is by doing that, we've put together a whole system of food that's so effective that we're throwing it away.
It's in our trash.
Like we're throwing away half the food we make.
Yeah.
Okay?
I know.
And that's just what's being put on the shelves. That's not even the subsidized corn that just gets burned
Right.
or used for sugars
Right.
or turned into new products. I mean, like we make so much food.
Right.
And we do it in a way that's completely efficient, but terrible for the environment and horrible for our digestive systems and for our growth.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So people are now kind of not in good shape anymore.
I know.
Right?
I know.
So this is the issue. This is what we need to fix.
Right.
Right? And could biochar be something that helps us like eat when we're screwed? Probably.
Right.
So let's not throw it let's not throw it away.
Yeah.
But
use it.
Yeah.
I have a new name for you, a new thing that you are environmentalism's dad.
Am I?
Yes, because from we had an episode not too long ago, a segment from our last week's episode where, there's tech and there's innovation, and the call that Noel has in his heart is be more responsible. Like that's the thing is he's like, just work a little harder, be a little bit more responsible. And what's so funny is environmentalism is being more responsible, but where we are as a society is, I still want to do those things, and I still want my way, and so I'm going to find workarounds and solutions. So it's really interesting because you're right. You're right, which is we want to grab everybody by the collar of this planet and be like, do better. But the crazy thing is that these people in these rooms that are developing this stuff are going, we keep asking, and people are like, nah.
It's true.
And so that's the quandary,
Look,
right?
It's an argument we make all the time, right? Like you got to give people little things. You got to give them small things to do, right?
Yeah.
Look, here's your personal what you try to do lesson.
Okay.
That we're gonna get out of this.
Okay, let's do it.
Your backyard has probably has not been a farm for a very long time.
Yeah, mine? No.
Yes, and I would say that would be the case for most everybody listening to the show.
Yeah.
Their backyard has not been a farm for a very long time.
Right.
Probably. Okay. So you probably have some soil that's had some time to rebuild, to get itself back into decent kind of shape.
Yeah.
Okay. In your backyard, pick 4 kind of different sorts of crops. Different things that you don't have to grow a lot of, but you can grow a little bit of.
Okay.
Okay? And then have those 4 things grow for a year and work on just like for this year, this little spot here is for potatoes, this little spot here is for carrots, this spot here is going to be for strawberries.
Right.
And this spot over here is going to be for arugula.
Arugula. It's a vegetable.
That's correct. And then grow those things for the year.
Okay.
Okay. The next year, either rotate them so that they're growing where the other one was growing before,
Okay.
or pick 4 totally different crops.
Love it.
Okay?
Okay.
And then grow those for a year.
Okay.
Plant a tree that creates some food.
Okay.
Plant an avocado tree, an orange tree,
Yeah.
an apple tree.
Okay.
Plant something that and put that for some shade, and then grow some things that do well in the shade at the foot of that tree, and then have that be a little spot. And then turn your backyard into a little experiment of how you can successfully grow things in your backyard, in your soil, and have, it's not going to cover all of your food, but it's going to supplement nicely. It'll be good. It'll be fresh. It'll be tasty.
Yeah.
And it'll probably have higher, nutritive quality than what you're getting elsewhere.
Right.
Okay. And see what happens when over time you keep rotating them, and you keep growing different things, and you keep allowing the soil to have some time to kind of recover.
Yeah.
And have different things in them. And you'll see that it's possible for people, if we all work together and we're a little smarter about it, to do a fun project with your kids, your family, yourself, have some food, share food with the people around you, and have the soil be in pretty damn good shape.
Environmentalism's dad, ladies and gentlemen. Environmentalism's dad.
That's your project.
That's your project.
For today's podcast.
No, I love it. That's like, we did a story not too long ago on climate victory gardens. It was this idea of there was a time in this country during World War II, World War I, where everybody was farming and gardening in their backyards, and that was a really good thing. Not only were you getting food sources on your own, but you were really helping the earth's soil come back to it. So it's a good point.
And that used to be necessary.
Yeah.
You didn't have McDonald's.
No.
It wasn't there.
Are you saying I can't grow a McDonald's in my backyard? Is that what you're telling me? I cannot have a McDonald's farm?
You can grow some wheat.
You can
Wheat. I could grow some wheat. I could have a cow.
A cow.
I could have a wheat, cow,
Some chickens.
and
Some
potatoes.
Yeah.
So with all those ingredients, I could make
And then
French
you have
fries.
manure.
French fries.
You could make the French fries. You could make the flour that could make your bread.
Yeah.
You could slaughter the cow and turn it into hamburger.
Okay. All right, that's what I'm gonna do. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's a lot of work.
Yeah,
it's a lot of work.
No, I think that if you're gonna have an animal, the chicken's pretty good.
Okay.
Go for the chicken because you don't even have to eat it. You can just let it lay eggs, and then
true.
you've got another protein source.
That's true. I like this
They
idea.
lay a lot of eggs.
Yeah. They do lay a lot of eggs.
We had a guest on, if you remember.
Of course.
He told us all about the amount of eggs they have, and different colors,
and they're colorful,
fun.
and they're not
Yes.
supposed to be solid white, or I guess the brown ones are a little bit more natural, but the colorful ones are supposed to be colorful.
I feel terrible that I forgot her name. It was so long ago.
No, it wasn't Francesca, was it?
Thank you.
It was Francesca?
Thank you. It was Francesca.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry to have even doubted you, but for a second I was like, that couldn't
No,
have been
it
it.
wasn't
And I was
her.
like, no, it wasn't her.
He's like,
No,
it's not
you're
Francesca,
right.
you idiot. How dare you say such a silly thing?
No, I was like,
Well, he doesn't even know her
Yeah,
name.
no, it absolutely was Francesca.
It
Yeah,
was.
yes. Thank you so much, Veronica. We got to give Alchemist Farms credit.
Yeah,
'cause
she edits the
they're wonderful.
videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. She definitely has seen it soon.
And she's smarter than us.
100%.
So thank you, Francesca. She was great.
Yeah.
She was great. So no, I think that there's room for us to have a fun
To
little
grow.
project here and have an experiment, and,
Yeah.
and I think you'd find it would work.
Wow,
I
the
agree.
one
well.
time you spoke today.
I agree. Yeah, I know. Veronica, I don't know if anybody even heard Francesca because she's hiding so far away from the microphone. It's so funny.
It's just funny. At least she's wanted for herself. So I'm like,
They can't even hear you saying this right now. You're so far. You're 18 miles away from the microphone. There, you got to say it. Now say it.
Hello.
Oh,
There she is.
There she is. Well,
Veronica's so adorable. She doesn't want to be on the microphone,
And she doesn't want to be on
when
camera.
the show hasn't even started yet. Like
Yeah.
we haven't even got we're not rolling the show, but the camera's hot.
Yeah, camera's hot.
But we're not started,
Yeah.
and she'll give my water. It's so sweet. She fills up my water for me because she's wonderful.
Yeah.
And then she'll do gymnastics to get into
Like,
just
those
her hand into
lasers?
frame and nothing
yeah.
else.
Oh, yeah.
dodging
She's
lasers,
dodging
doesn't
lasers.
she?
like, I'm not gonna be on the
I
show.
refuse.
I'm not going to be on the show. I'll edit the show. I'll remind you of the guests you had in the show.
But I will not be
I'll let you
on
yell
the
at me for
show.
being right on the show,
Yeah.
but I'm not going to go on the show.
We need to have yell at you for being right. I didn't mean to yell at you. I was like, you said Francesca. I was like, no. Yes, it is Francesca.
She's like, Alchemist Farms, Francesca, with the hat?
With the hat?
Yeah.
Yeah. I just listened to it. Oh my gosh. Well, the biochar story, that's pretty much it. That's wrapped up. And I have a couple other stories that we could just read that.
Well, we're going to do a minute check. What are we up to?
Wait,
That,
yeah, like 10 more minutes.
yeah.
Okay, let's
10
do
minutes?
it.
Okay, so we'll just do kind of some, like,
Let's-
we're not going to spend too much time.
Rapid
all right?
fire, baby.
Okay.
Let's do this.
This was new. Koala IVF could help save species from extinction.
Oh my God.
Because the koalas, we lost a lot of...
They're having trouble making babies?
Well, I think that we lost
IVF
so
is
many.
in vitro fertilization for
Yeah.
those of you who are not familiar.
Yeah, so 64,000 koalas were killed when 5.5 million hectares were ravaged by
Oh, God.
the Black Summer bushfires, which was terrible. And we covered and we had a special guest to talk about that time period. And we donated to the causes to help Australia during that time. But we
still donate to those causes.
We still do. We do every year.
We better be. We're supposed to be.
We're supposed to. We are. We are. But it was just an article that's basically saying, look, koala populations are way down. They're way, way down, and the species that remain have some STD problems.
They do. It's sad.
So we've talked about it before, but most koalas have chlamydia, and it's just
Not all?
I think all now.
All of them have chlamydia.
I think the ones that didn't have chlamydia unfortunately
were the
died
majority
in the
of
fire.
what died in the fire. Yeah.
So this method hopefully will give a chance back to kind of up the population again, and maybe through IVF, I don't know if it's possible, to make the new koalas chlamydia free.
I mean, that would be great.
That
right?
would be great, right?
Yeah, if you could figure that out.
No chlamydia koalas.
To not pass that on.
So anyway,
crazy.
so that's the headline. I just thought that was a great story. I could just say, let's see, research published in the Journal of Animals on Wednesday found that the BioBanking would allow the storage of live koala genes by freezing 6 cells such as sperm. So basically, they're going to frozen the sperm. They can impregnate female koalas and breed for release programs, and use assisted reproductive technology so they can cryopreserve koala sperm.
I think we should cryopreserve like
Everything.
every animal we can find.
It's the new,
genetics. I mean,
absolutely.
I think we don't know what we're doing.
Why don't
to
we
this planet?
open up a business?
Yeah.
And we'll cryo freeze all animal sperm, and we'll call it Noah's Ark 2.0. Right?
Wait,
That's one of our go-to jokes is Noah's Arking.
Yeah, Noah's Arking. We're gonna Noah's Ark.
Noel's Arking.
Noel's Ark.
Noel's Ark. It's Noel's Ark.
Noel's
Oh,
Ark.
if you have three,
We'll put them next to all the seeds up in Iceland, or was it
yeah.
Norway?
It was Norway.
Norway.
Yeah.
Up all the seeds in Norway. We'll put them together.
So if you have $1 billion,
We need the eggs
give
too, though.
us a call.
Sperm and ovum.
Okay, we need both for Noel's Ark.
Yeah,
So
we
reach
do.
out immediately. So that was a good.
No, I actually I love that. I love that idea. I think that we need to look at that because some of the stuff we're doing to
Right.
the planet is like,
It's like we
are
gotta save these
wiping-
species,
We're
right?
wiping out a lot of species. But
Yeah.
This is the 6th great extinction, right?
Yeah.
We had other guests on who talked about that. We
did.
We were all right about the show. We've covered everything.
We've covered the gambit of everything.
Yeah.
But that was that story, which feels good. And then we'll just do one more, and then we'll wrap this puppy up.
You don't want to talk a bit about cute,
yeah, go on.
cuddly koalas
Go
and how
on.
wonderful they are and how they're beautiful.
I'm thinking
What?
we have chlamydia. Humans could catch chlamydia and it's easily curable. Why can't I'm
That's a good question. Is that I don't know if it's curable in koalas. I don't know why they still have it. So maybe whatever method is used to cure human chlamydia doesn't apply.
Yeah.
Because obviously it's still an issue. And
We're going to have to get a chlamydia specialist.
we need to get a
to come
chlamydia
onto the show
specialist.
and
So if you have
spend a lot of
They
time
don't-
discussing.
they don't study anything
Chlamydia.
else but chlamydia.
Yeah. Oh, I guarantee there is a chlamydia koala specialist on this earth. 100%.
Yeah,
there is somebody
there is.
who knows all that stuff. Call now.
We'll
now.
put that project onto our expert crack team to find us a chlamydia koala specialist. Bring you
Expert
on the
crack
show.
team.
Yeah,
But I love koalas. Koalas are my favorite animal. When I was a child, I collected things that were all koala. They're so cute and they're adorable.
The thing about Australia that is so underrated and it's so unfortunate because I think it took a little bit too long for the humans to realize it. I mean, and by the way, in Australia they realized it 100 years ago.
Right.
They really did. That like, oh my God, we've got to be way more careful with how we treat this area.
Yeah.
But koalas are an example of just a huge variety of species that don't exist anywhere else.
Right.
That like in Australia, you had this island that was separated, a massive island separated from everything else.
Yeah.
Out in the middle of nowhere, outpost of Earth.
Right.
Where all sorts of wild, unusual, wacky species just evolved.
Right.
And many still exist today.
Yeah.
And it's tragic to watch them die off because that's what's happening.
Right.
It's like they're dying off kind of one at a time. And some of that may have happened anyway, but
Right.
some of that is absolutely because people are around.
Yeah, that's right.
And
people.
We do have to be a bit more.
We need Noel's Ark.
We need to be a bit continue to be more thoughtful about that and keep working on it because I mean they're adorable. What a weird thing to have just a continent full of animals that all have pouches.
Yeah. All of them.
Like almost, you know, or to
I mean,
have-
so many do.
Yes.
Kangaroo, koala,
Yeah.
wallabies, they have the pouches.
even they have little like hopping mice things that have
And they have
pouches. I mean,
pouches?
they have everything.
Pouches,
It's crazy.
I
They're
love
adorable.
it.
No, they're cute as all get out. They're like
so
mini koalas.
cute. Pouches. We
Yeah,
all need
kangaroos.
pouches.
You know, they're adorable. And then wombats. I mean, they got so many fun things. And the birds are just like crazy.
I know.
Wild.
I know.
Like, I don't know if you've ever seen a kookaburra before, but they are the craziest looking
Just at the zoo.
awesome
Yeah.
birds. monkeys.
Yeah,
They're
kookaburra.
so cool.
They're so cool that the person who named them was like overwhelmed with their coolness.
Yeah.
He was just like, kookaburra!
Yeah, kookaburra! What a kookaburra!
Kookaburra!
Oh, I'm gonna stop taking this peyote. Oh, mate.
Oh, my.
Oh,
It's
it's too much.
unbelievable.
No, platypus.
Platypus. Yeah.
I mean, what kind of an odd animal is a platypus?
Yeah.
The duck build and the beaver feet and actually duck feet, but beaver tail, and then
Yeah.
like he lays eggs, but
Oh,
it's
yeah.
also a mammal and it swims.
Oh, yeah.
They're wacky.
Australia was definitely, if there was a creator, that was definitely like day one, just kind of goofing around.
Yeah.
And then they were like, well, I think we should really dial this in. You gave so many things pouches.
Yeah.
And they're super weird. He's like, all right, I'm sorry. I just have a little bit of fun, you know? Yeah. So I think that's what Australia is.
Yeah.
But I'm happy about it. I love koalas, and the one thing technology kind of ruined koalas for me, because as a kid you see koalas are cute. You have the stuffed animals. You go to the zoo, you see them eating the eucalyptus. And it wasn't until I was older that somebody made like one of those nature documentaries, and I saw them like snorting and growling and doing stuff in the trees to each other, and they're like brutal.
Oh, they're mean.
Yeah.
They're mean.
Their claws are crazy.
Yeah, and they're like that to each other.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They got long, vicious, like Wolverine claws.
Yeah.
Like they'll mess you up, but they don't mess you up because the coolest thing about koalas is that eucalyptus acts as a sedative. It's
That's right.
It's
I remember
like
hearing
weed.
that. Yeah.
It's like getting them high.
It's like Thanksgiving turkey.
Yeah.
Like that's what they're having.
Yes.
Or weed's better.
Yeah. It's undigestible to most animals. Can't even eat the eucalyptus leaves. But koalas, they've got like the perfect biochemistry in their bellies. And they thrive. Not only do they thrive on it, it just chills them out.
I love
And
that.
so that's why koalas are just kind of like, are you talking to me, mate?
Talking to me,
No,
mate.
no, we're good, mate. Hold on. Oh crap, there's a kid in my pouch. Oh, no, mate.
Almost forgot that was
Oh,
there.
bloody hell. Like, hey, kid, eat some eucalyptus. Here's your
Yeah.
eucalyptus. That's a good, calm down. There you go, mate. There you go, mate. All right.
So good. So good.
Yeah.
Well, I think, unfortunately, we got to wrap it there, mainly not because of the camera, but because my laptop's about to die.
Well, I think we're close to time anyway.
I think we
About
are
30
close
minutes?
to time, right?
We got like 8 minutes.
8 minutes. So we'll call
No,
it
how
there.
many minutes is the total time on the show?
38.
We're at 48?
Oh no, we're at 33.
33. Okay.
Well, that's how long the show's supposed to be.
Yeah, so we're at a
So
good
that's
place.
good. We
We're at a
did
good
it.
place. You know what dawned on me as we wrap this show up, which is it's something that we got to remind everybody, because when this airs, after the next time we are on air again, Mustachio Bristlecone will have happened. It happens on a
arrived?
Sunday. It happens on a Sunday this year. So
He'll have given wonderful
He'll have
gifts
given
and chocolates
wonderful
and money
gifts.
to all of the little boys and girls.
yes, or keys to a new Tesla, however you roll in your
However
family.
you roll.
Yeah, but-
Whatever you think you deserve.
whatever you think you deserve. But just remember, on May 22nd, it is Mustachio Bristlecone Day. So keep an eye out for those things that you planted on Earth Day.
Mm-hmm.
You will receive a gift from Mustachio for saying thank you for giving back to planet Earth. So just wanted to remind everybody about that before we wrapped the show today.
Wait, I'm sorry. Did you guys celebrate?
Yeah, absolutely. We were doing Earth Day with the Scouts, and
Yes,
so
all of our contributions to Mustachio Bristlecone are in New Mexico.
that's true. We actually
is
won't
true,
get
yeah.
to see if we get a gift this year. Somebody else, some other lucky kid will receive my Tesla.
That's right. Your Tesla's going to somebody else. That's okay.
It's okay.
Sometimes you got to give those Teslas away.
You gotta give them away. It's fine. Anyway, well, that's it for us. This has been an OG Biofriendly podcast. We love you guys always staying with us, and make sure you are subscribed if you aren't already, and tell your friends, spread the word, let everybody
the
know
word.
that this is the place to get that green, eco-friendly
Green
news.
fix.
That's fun. That's fun. You know what I mean? Like, we're not judgmental. We're not boring and dry. Like, we cover the news, but we have a good time doing it.
We do.
So let everybody know, and thanks for being with us for so many years, and we look forward to seeing you the next time. Do I close out with our little try
I think
here?
it's my turn to make it up.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we are your beacon of light in a gloomy environment.
living it up on eucalyptus since 1753.
As long as it's not 1996.
Bio-friendly podcast. It's the Bio-friendly podcast.